everybody, welcome back to Thrasher's Ghetto Fab Garage. We're going to continue to work on the 32 Ford sedan here. I know it's been a couple weeks. I had some stuff going on in my life. I couldn't get in the garage, didn't do much videoing. Did the road trip to pick up the 68 C10 for my buddy. So here we are, back on the 32. Last time we were working on the turbo plumbing, and I ran out of argon, so I switched gears and started working on the firewall a bit. So I'll show you what I got so far. Like I said, I didn't video any of this, so needed to get the cowl vent in. It wasn't there. I wanted to make sure it was going to clear, so I went ahead and put that in. Got the mechanism all in there, and then started messing around a little bit with the firewall. So I'll show you what I got so far. Here is the firewall, and as you can see, it's got the setback in it, which ended up about 4.5 inches, I believe. So I bent that up with some 16 gauge, kind of matched the original heavy steel of the 32 firewall. Gonna go ahead and I'm gonna weld that in now, get that set up, and start working on that. And then I made this this piece here is where the cowl vent will fit. It's sitting about, it's really rough right now, just kind of getting everything into shape, but this was sitting about 25% into the cowl vent, so I had to make some kind of recess to make that make it for fit back in the car. So I do absolutely have to have a cowl vent in this thing. I think 32 Ford, one of the things that makes 32 Ford so cool is the cowl vent. So I wanted to get that fit. So I'm gonna work on this firewall, get you guys set up here, and let's see if I can make some actual progress on this thing. It's been a little bit of time, so got to keep going, and I'll keep putting the videos up. So start doing a little welding here on the firewall. All the different pieces here I got to get together, and I was using my TIG on this, which I would normally do, but I think I'm gonna get a little lazy here and then switch over to my MIG. I want to grind all this stuff anyways, so probably a little bit quicker. And just it was giving me a little bit of issues, just with the different thicknesses of metal and stuff. So I did some of this with the MIG. Actually welded this from the back side, as you can see right there, and I just ground everything smooth. So I'm gonna do the same over here. It just makes it just a lot easier to do this, and something that's going to be ground smooth. It's going to be quicker. I'm just going to get a little lazy and do that. Like I said, I usually use my TIG, but probably don't see the benefit on this piece. So I'm going to keep rolling on this. I'll get the time lapse set up and see what we can get done here. Alright, well I got the some welding done on here. Got the this back piece welded in and somewhat of that tunnel done there. I'm gonna keep going on that. I didn't know if I showed this earlier, but I did have a small piece, just a really hard piece to fit. And I ended up with a small gap there, but I didn't want to remake everything, so I did have to put a small filler piece in there. Not optimal way to do it, but it does work. It's metal, you can just keep adding to it. So went ahead and did that, and I'm gonna do it on the other side. I'm gonna do it over here. This hole here, I'm gonna have to make some kind of dimple or something for it. This is really part of the linkage for the cowl vent comes through, so I'll figure that out. So I'm gonna keep welding on this. I do want to fix this mess here where this old heater was. Probably won't fill any of the factory holes yet. Probably wait till the one getting closer to getting motor fired, that kind of stuff. I'm gonna start to fill in holes. I'm gonna run wires through or whatever. So we'll leave those for now, and then also gonna pull this in here and finish this weld here. So I'm gonna keep welding and grinding on this. Not doing too exciting going on here, but it is progress. So I'll get the time lapse set up again, and we can do some more of this firewall stuff. So I got the most of the welding grinding done here. Not my best work, I'm going to say, but I think it's sufficient, and I'm not going to beat myself up on this too much. I should have got the fit a little bit better on that on this vent piece here, but I think all in all, it's going to work just fine. Don't think I said in my earlier clip, but I do want this will probably be filled with put some body filler in those those seams and everything. I do want to make this look like it was stamped in one piece. That's my plan. So when it gets in the car, it just looks like it's factory forward as it can be. That's one reason I did use the factory firewall. I love these these half moons here and all these beads and stuff. So I just mimic that coming up here. And then there's a piece on the firewall that actually is going to tie right in here. And when it went straight down stock, I'm going to go ahead and make that fit in here and spot weld it all back in, make it look like it was it's always been there. So what I want to do here is I'm going to show the next piece I'm going to do is where the heater was. I mean, I think every early car you're going to find, or at least from the north, it has these nasty holes jammed in the firewall for whatever aftermarket heater they put on there, and you can see there's cold chisel or drilled holes sometimes. So this is what you get here. So gonna go ahead and cut that out and get those two holes, at least those fixed, because those are nasty. So I'm gonna work on those next year. The same heavy ass stuff that the firewall's made out of. And anybody's messed with an early Ford, these firewalls are tremendously thick. I think they're at least 16 gauge. I mean, they're thick, but I wanted to kind of mimic that. So here's a piece I made. Took a piece of scrap and bent just a little crease in there in my brake. And I'm going to go ahead and just tack this with the MIG right now. And I am going to take this in here just to be so much easier to grind and finish that, make that look a lot nicer. So I'm just going to tack with the MIG, and then I'm going to make this other little chunk here, and then we'll keep rolling with that. Address this hole here. If you can see, it's the part of the mechanism for the cowl vent here comes through. I didn't want to. I could have pushed that tunnel thing out a little farther if I wanted to, but it started to get kind of a weird angle and stuff. So decided to just kind of poke that through there. So what I did is I made this piece here. It's like kind of a dimple that I made here, and that is going to go here. I kind of have some lines scribed on there, as you can see. And I'm going to go ahead and weld that in there. That should give me more than enough clearance that I need for that piece to operate correctly. So I'm going to go ahead and get this, I got it scribed down here now. I'm going to go ahead and pop that off, and I'll get that welded in there. And then I can also show how I made that. I used my press to make that. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll get that set up and show you guys how I made that piece also. Alright guys, so all I did to make this that dimple piece I showed you, which is right here. What I did to make that is I just here's my first attempt that I tried, and I purposely kind of destroyed it to see what my limitations were there. So all I did is cut a piece of tubing here and set this up in my my press. Had a flat piece of tubing, laid it right on top of there, and just used a ball peen hammer, and I like that and pressed it in there. But what I did differently to save all this distortion on this piece, as you can see, it's pretty close to the same depth, is I would press a little bit, and as the sides started to buckle in here, I would take that back over on my bench over there, and I would keep stretching that metal back out. Keep stretching it, and then press it a little bit more, go back, where it started to wrinkle, keep stretching that out, and that's where I got this fairly uniform piece that I came up with here, and that's going to work perfect. So yeah, just I don't know, something I come up with, and it seemed to work out pretty well. Maybe someone can use that. So there's this piece. Okay, so there it is. I got the dimple made there. That was going to clear that the cowl mechanism, and I think it went pretty well. Pretty simple project here. Just had a little extra time, or a little bit of time here on a Sunday afternoon. Just keep trying to make a little bit of progress every time I come out here. So that's probably going to be it for today. I'm going to get this back in the car and get it tacked in, and then get on to the some other stuff I got to do. But for now, that part's done. Let me keep moving with this. So the firewall is tacked back into the car, and it looks pretty good. You can see the dimple I added there. I think the next step I'm going to do is I'm going to take and split this here, and I'm going to do something to tie that in, and then spot weld that in there, make it look as factory as I possibly can. So yeah, it's going to be the next step there, and then I'm going to continue down and build the rest of the firewall down. You know, kind of these legs down here, and finish that out, and then get that all tacked together. The last thing, I probably will weld this together the rest of the way, mostly off the car. This whole weld here I'll probably do on the bench. So without it, I'll have to get out of the body to do that, and probably won't do that for a while. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and I am gonna wrap this video up. I think that had been a while since I've updated anything on the 32, so I want to get this this one wrapped up, get this one posted up to YouTube. And we're going to keep working on this firewall. I want to get this finished up again. The structure of the car is becoming important here. I do want to, get this, make this a roller. So now the turbo stuff is kind of set, like where it is. I'm going to do a little more welding on that, but I want to get this structure stuff done so that way I can, pop the body off the frame and get that all welded up. So. All right, guys, so that's it for this this video. I'm gonna wrap it up here, and gonna keep working on this firewall for you. Keep posting them up to YouTube, and keep working on the 68. So keep watching, stay tuned, and we will see you guys next time.